Hello, everyone, and welcome. I am Omari Martin, Board Chair of Kepler College of Astrological Arts and Sciences, and I welcome you to our Black History Month interview series. And today we have Celeste Brooks with us, and Celeste is the founder and principal astrologer at Astrology by Celeste, LLC, where she offers personal readings, horary consultation, cosmic success coaching, group events, and classes. Before moving into astrology full-time, she had a successful sales and marketing career at Fortune 500 companies spanning over 25 years. And so with that, let's welcome Celeste. Hey, Celeste, how are you today?
I am wonderful. So happy to be here speaking with you.
Excellent. We're certainly pleased that you did choose to accept our invitation to join us today. So
How could I say no to you, Omari?
Oh, thank you, Celeste. I appreciate that as a compliment. Thank you, thank you. Okay, so let's just start with how did you get started as an astrologer? What's your story?
Yeah, so I have always been fascinated by Greek mythology ever since I was a little girl. And when I learned I was a Taurus, I totally related to the symbology of being a Taurus, very practical, grounded, stable, and all of that. But I had my first astrology reading around 5 years ago, and it blew my mind about how you could see so much in my natal chart. And so I started studying. I was invited to a class and started studying. And then as soon as I started studying, I couldn't get enough. I just, I'm an addict. I just ate astrology up day and night. And I still am like fascinated on almost a daily basis about how as above, so below, and just even mundane life things like today the moon is conjunct Neptune, or it was earlier today.
Yes,
And
I
a
saw
friend
that.
was talking about how her mother had passed and the astrology of when her mother had passed. And there were three of us in this conversation. We all had lost our mothers and started talking about the transits, and then realized it was a moon conjunct Neptune in Pisces, lost mothers. It just
Yeah.
is
Oh, wow. And that
incredible.
spiritual connection that we all have with our mothers, I think, and even when the physical umbilical cord is severed, I think that spiritual umbilical cord is forever. Definitely, definitely. Okay. So you said, so you started about 5 years ago, and I take it you've been practicing for the past 3 to 4 years?
Yeah, so I officially launched my business in 2021. No, 2020. Sorry.
20.
So
Okay,
3 years.
okay,
Yeah,
3
yeah.
years. Well, I know you have hit the ground running. I see you a lot on Instagram, and I like it. I like it, and we'll talk more about that too a little later. So that's great. That's great. And so where do you practice? Like
Yeah,
just
so I
online or in certain cities?
I live in Oakland, California. I do most of my readings online, but I do events locally, corporate events, as well as, people hire me for things like birthdays and other family events, and I do those in person in the Bay Area of California.
Okay, okay, cool, 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 cool. So now, knowing that you started about 5 years ago, this question I'm going to ask anyway. Were you able to find access to courses when you were learning?
Yes.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. And the follow-up question for that is, were there accessible Black astrologer role models from your vantage point?
Um, most of my initial teachers were white,
Mm.
but now that I've been in the industry for a while, I'm seeing more and more accessible role models like yourself, Sam Reynolds, Stormy, Grace, Taylor Schuler. There are a fair number. I'd like to see more, but there are some here, and I'm so glad to some people see me as a role model as well.
Mhm. Excellent, excellent, and thank you for the acknowledgement, if you will, because yes, Sam Reynolds and Stormy Grace and Taylor Schuler and myself are certainly have become very visible or more visible over the past 5 years. So thank you for that. So who would you say are your biggest inspirations in astrology?
Yeah, so my first teacher, Leslie McGuirk, is an astrologer out of Florida. So she was the one who first gave me my first reading, so she'll always have a place in my heart and got me started in the studying. Rebecca Gordon, an astrologer from New York City, started me in my dive into the moon. So I am a Cancer rising, and studying studying the moon, the transiting moon, the moon phases, everything about the moon has deepened my practice so incredibly. And I use the moon phases to help me retire early from my corporate career and transition into being a full-time astrologer. And I've taken all of her classes. Deborah Silverman, I've taken all of her classes as well. And she introduced me to how important Saturn is in the natal chart. And I have Saturn on my sun. I'm a Capricorn in disguise, and so she's another one. Anne Ortley, who I mentored with, she's who really unlocked the astrology in action for me, and finding, the astrology and everyday stories in the news and the collective, which I love talking about. So these are some of my earliest teachers. Yeah, Bronwyn Simmons really helped me learn about the moon a lot, as well as April Kent Elliott. I did mentoring with her as well.
Yes,
So yeah,
yes.
I have just a host of astrologers I just absolutely love.
Excellent, excellent. I recognize some of the names you mentioned. So I feel like I'm in the know.
You are in the know.
So I
Yes.
recognize some of the names, definitely. That's cool. That's real cool. So and I also want to just emphasize how, as someone who is on social media, let's just say as a layperson, not as, Omari Martin, certified professional astrologer, but just from a layperson, I see you on social media, talking about the moon like daily or every other day. And I was going to wait till the end, but I can't. I got to say it right now. Celeste Brooks is the moon maven. She is. She's the moon maven, and you got to say it with love, the moon maven. You got to kind of like say it like that. And I really affectionately, out of love, give her that additional title, because her work, from my vantage point, is based on the moon. And I like it, I love it, and I so much so appreciate how you made the conscious choice to identify with your Cancer rising. I'm Leo rising. Oh, wait a minute, got to do a camera check. Hold on. Am I looking good?
Yeah, my moon is
So,
in my 10th house. So
okay, okay. And the moon
hello,
is in, oh, the
Aries
moon is in
moon.
10th house. Okay, so great. So so I love that. I was gonna save it to the end, but I just couldn't wait anymore. So
I
thank
love my
you. Thank you
nickname,
for
the moon.
indulging me.
I love my nickname that you gave me, the
Oh,
moon
thank
maven.
you. Thank you,
Yes.
Celeste. Love, love. Okay, so what kind of support did you have when you decided to go into astrology? Like
Yes.
from family or friends?
Yeah, so I made some friends in every single class I've taken. So I've gotten the support that way. It's so fascinating. Both myself and my sister, who's 9 years younger than me, and my north node is on her south node, and vice versa. We
Yeah, yeah.
started delving into spirituality around the same time. It's Yeah, it's
Wow.
just really, really fascinating, and like
Wow.
different
Wow.
ways and different things. Like my mother's passed on, but my father's like, you did what? When I quit my corporate
That's right, because
career.
you were with a Fortune 500 company, and I'm sure he was scratching his head. You want to do what?
Yeah, yeah. So some people are very perplexed, but I really thought a lot about it, understanding I was going into a field that's not understood by others, or people just
Mhm.
maybe just dismiss it out of hand without knowing anything about it. But I decided that I was going to throw off the shackles of, what was expected of me and follow my Aries moon and follow like what inspired me, what lit me up. And I have Uranus at my IC. So I was an undercover rebel even before I knew it. When Uranus hit my sun, that's
Yeah.
when
Wow.
Uranus on my sun, Saturn squaring my sun Saturn conjunction.
Yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
I like shattered the structures of my life and was awakened to new possibilities. Did the full card in the tarot deck and just was like
Yeah.
off on my way. Yeah,
Wow.
taking a risk to pursue my purpose and my passion.
Yeah, well, so I've looked at a few of your Instagram videos and certainly appreciate your passion. And in this moment, I'm just it's just pleasing to hear that yet another human being has really chosen to look within, search within, and discover their calling that they resonate with, identify with, and then recognize that passion and you make that conscious choice. I'm going all the way with it, and that's huge. That's huge.
Mhm.
Wow. Okay.
Uranus transits are no
I
joke.
I know they get you. They get you. I know. I know. I have Sun conjunct Uranus, so
Mm.
I have to be rebellious in some kind of a way.
Yeah,
I
what sign is your sun? Are
Oh,
you a Leo
Libra,
too?
Libra. Yeah,
Oh,
Sun, yeah, Sun
oh,
conjunct Uranus in Libra. And I have to be rebellious in some kind of a way. I mean, even for me, like some people would not do, business casual and wear a hat. I want to be unique in some way. I want to do mine a little different. So that Uranus will get to you. It definitely will. So so 5 years in, have you ever been the only Black astrologer in the room?
oh yes,
Okay.
yes, many, many times.
Okay. And was there anything in particular that helped you feel more welcome and or well was I was just so there's a follow-up question, but let me stick with this one. So was there anything in particular that helped you feel more welcome when you were in that space as the only Black person and more specifically Black woman?
Well, my whole life, I've often been the only Black person in a space from
Oh,
was when I was a child in like gifted and talented classes and things like that. And in my career, often, yeah. So I'm very used to it. I
okay.
found people in astrology to be extremely welcoming towards me.
Mhm.
Um, yeah, I feel like I've been very blessed to have been able to find acceptance in this career from
Okay.
people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Interesting. So, what kinds of changes, if any, have you experienced in the course of your career in terms of feeling welcome in groups of different diversity and cultures?
Mm. Say that again.
Okay, so what kinds of changes, if any, have you experienced in the course of your career in terms of feeling welcome in groups of different diversity and cultures?
Mm. Yeah, like I said, I feel like I've always felt welcomed,
Mhm.
and felt like, yeah, and I've taken horary school with Deborah, uh,
Deb Holding.
Deb Holding, excuse me. The STA School of Traditional Astrology Horary School.
Yeah, yes.
And there were people from all over the world, all different cultures in our classes, and I absolutely, absolutely loved it.
Mm.
And yeah, it was very from the minute Wade Caves is one of my teachers. Yeah, from the
Mhm.
minute I started, it was felt very welcomed and accepted. And Yeah,
Okay.
I don't have any negative experiences with being a Black astrologer.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. 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 Excellent. Now,
Not to
cultural.
say people haven't discriminated against me, but I'm just not aware.
Yeah, I know those microaggressions are real, baby. I'm here to tell you those microaggressions are real. And
Yeah.
only a black person might notice it. And yeah, so I'm gonna leave that right there.
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. So culturally, have you noticed that African Americans tend to be more open or closed to astrology? And do you think religion plays a part in that?
Yes. You know what? I was very like a little tentative. This was like a year or so ago. I had a reunion with a bunch of classmates from when I was a child, and I was very a little nervous about how they would accept me now that I was being an astrologer, because we all went to lots of us went to church together. And
Mhm.
so we all had the Christian background, and they were very open to it. I was shocked. Everybody was open to it. Everybody wanted a reading. People love to talk about themselves and learn more
Yes,
things about
yes,
themselves.
yes.
So it was just a delight. Yeah. Yeah. Now I'm sure I know there are people who are very discriminatory against astrology.
Hmm.
And I've had a few comments here and there or just strange looks, but I just keep it moving. I decided,
Yeah,
I'm not going to let other people's perceptions stop me from self-actualization. Yeah.
yeah, I get that. Yeah, Maslow's hierarchy of needs. That's the apex of the triangle.
Yeah. I'm at the apex.
Okay, so that's friends from the neighborhood you grew up with. What about family members, maybe aunts and uncles, that generation before you?
Yes, they have been very open to it as well. I've given my aunt's readings. My godmother loves it. She comes to my events. She doesn't know much about astrology, but she just loves watching me talk about it. And as she said, this you're starting to make me think this astrology is real.
Ah, oh man. Now, when you hear those kind of comments from our elders, with all due respect, yeah, you're on to something.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. So yes, people have been very, very open. Yes.
Oh wow, that's great. That's great. That's excellent. So, what message of inspiration would you like to share with new and upcoming astrologers of color?
Ah, that it's a wonderful field that you can, grow your business in and, follow your passion. I suggest having some sort of niche where you have something you specialize in that you really develop mastery over. I
Mm.
have my Moon Mastery program that, I used as an avenue where I just went 100% into everything the moon, as well as I love I also, love all the other planets as
Yeah,
well as
yeah.
the asteroids and things like that. But you have to stand out? What separates you from the pack? So that's something I would say recommending to people to consider as you're growing your career. Yeah.
Hmm. Hmm. Excellent. And I just want to just get affirm everyone, Celeste does that as the moon maven.
Yeah.
That's her niche at this time. That's her niche, and she's all in. She's all in. Just look for her. You'll find her.
Yeah. I'm Astrology by Celeste everywhere.
Okay, okay. And what kinds of shifts in the astrological community do you think would improve opportunities for Black astrologers?
Ah. Yeah, so I feel like we're seeing some of them, but I'd like seeing all the different schools or institutions opening up scholarship programs. I know OPA, Kepler, as well as ESAR all have some programs that help people because there's financial hurdles for a lot of people in order to start having an astrology career, because a lot of times people have, obligations with families, or it's just
Mhm.
with the it's just difficult financially for a lot of people. And I think the reducing the boundaries of entry can be
Mhm.
very helpful to
Mhm.
young
Yes,
Black astrologers.
yeah, definitely. So you touch on a very important point, which is simply access.
Access,
Because
yeah.
once you discover astrology for yourself, I think for everyone who is a professional astrologer, once you made that initial discovery, it's like you couldn't get enough. So the
Mhm.
books are not free. Even if you get a used book from a used bookstore, it's $5 or $10, and most likely you want to get two, three, if not four of them.
Mhm.
And without question, attending a conference also has a cost, with transportation and the hotel and the registration to the event and the incidentals to and fro. So that access is an issue for some. And thank you for mentioning that Kepler College offers a diversity scholarship. And everyone, our diversity scholarship is available for everyone who is a member of a historically underrepresented group. And if you belong to one of those groups, we invite you to apply for our diversity scholarship. And I want to add, if you are watching this interview today and you want to donate to the diversity scholarship, and we also offer our Maggie Nalbandian scholarship, which is open to everyone, we certainly invite you to feel free to donate to continue support astrology for the useful tool that it is, and to also support students inside of their journey to learn astrology. So I'm going to thank you in advance for your support. So let's see. So how do you celebrate Black History Month, or do you do anything special?
Yeah, so every Black History Month, I like to delve into something where I'm learning something more about some leaders and innovators and things like that. I always, go back to, Martin Luther King's speeches and things. And
Mm-hmm.
just learning new things, trying to elevate other
Mm-hmm.
people of color and make others more aware of their work as well.
Excellent. So Celeste, as we were talking before we started the recording, this interview series that is hosted by Kepler College is Kepler College's way of celebrating Black History Month. And it's certainly a way for me to celebrate it, having the opportunity to serve as the interviewee. And you're also joining in on the celebration as I'm the interviewer and you're joining in as the interviewee. So this right here is our way of celebrating Black History Month. So what kinds of services are you providing right now? So you touched on that earlier, so feel free to play that back for us.
Yeah, so I do astrology readings, both natal chart readings as well as couples readings and solar returns. And I teach my Moon Mastery program, which is a class that is all about the moon. So people can sign up for that. I do some mentoring as well, and I do coaching. So I, have this long background with corporate, so I can help people, especially with their business goals, um, with strategies in order to expand and in line with their natal chart. Yeah, and every
Mhm.
month I teach new moon workshops where we
Oh,
dive into the new moon chart, as well as the archetypal energy of the sign. And I do what I call my hot take readings on participants. So talk about what I see in their natal charts, what I think is coming up, and things like that. So yeah. And
okay,
every
excellent.
Sunday and Monday, I'm on Instagram Live, talking about the astrology. And I started an interview series, which you're going to be part of, on Fridays, called the Cosmic Conversations.
Okay, okay, cool. Thank you. Yes, I accepted that invitation. And so tell us about your academic background.
Mhm.
Share that with us so that all those who are watching the video will know, and for generations to come, they will know.
Yeah, so I have my bachelor's degree in biology from the University of California, Berkeley. And I spent my career in life science companies, medical device companies, doing technical support, sales, and marketing roles. I have my MBA from St. Mary's here in California with a focus on a marketing emphasis. So yeah, I got a science degree. I'm very logical and grounded. And the thing I love about astrology is you can see it. Yeah, when this
Mhm.
planet, it makes an aspect of this planet, this is what may happen. And you see it again and again and again and again. Like it's that hypothesis and the proof over and over
Mhm,
again.
mhm,
So yeah,
mhm.
so that's my
And,
background. And
and that empirical observation that we have to work with as well as
mhm.
astrologers. So with that, Celeste, how can people find you? And
Uh,
give us all that social media stuff you got going on. So take it away. Give it to
So
us.
my website is astrologybyceleste.com. I'm Astrology by Celeste everywhere. My main platform for social media is Instagram, but I'm also on YouTube, TikTok, and Facebook. One thing to know, there are people who pretend to be astrologers, especially on Instagram. I have problems. I will never slide into your DMs requesting a reading. All readings are booked on my website. I have the Celestial Insights podcast, which is here to help you navigate the energies of the week. Also doing three free moon mastery webinars that you can sign up on my website. They're going to be February 26th, March 2nd, and March 8th. So people can come to see my work there as well.
Okay,
Oh, and I have
excellent.
a newsletter. You can sign up for my newsletter and you get a free Setting Intentions with the Moon guide to help you understand about the moon phases and how you can work with them.
Wow, all that good marketing. I'm accounting and finance. I need some of that marketing stuff from you.
I don't know how you do all you do, Omari. You are so busy.
I am, so I have a Virgo stellium. My default setting is service. And
Mhm,
when I am being of service in a way that is meaningful and that matters to me, I'm alive.
mhm.
I'm vibrant. And when I'm not being of service, or I'll say maybe even denied the opportunity to be of service, it
Mhm.
has an impact on me. And I began to question my self-worth, if you will. So yeah, I'm very busy. I'm doing a lot. In the face of all the ups and downs and everything's in between, I would have you and the whole world to know I'm enjoying every second of it.
Oh, good, good, good. Oh, and I forgot to mention another one of my favorite Black astrologers,
Please do.
Michael Bryan.
Okay. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
Oraculus, I think is the name of
Yeah,
his
yes. Uh-huh. Okay,
yeah,
cool,
I
cool,
want
cool,
to make
cool.
sure. And Cameron Allen is a really good Black astrologer too. He's now,
Yes,
yeah,
yeah.
working with
Cameron
Eastern.
Allen has a health series that
Yeah.
he has done with Kepler College over the past year. Definitely. Yes, yes, yes. So cool. Well, Celeste, we certainly want to thank you for your time and attention and hanging out with us today. And we wish you the best.
Thank you so much. I really enjoyed speaking with you, Omari, and I'm honored that you asked me.
Oh, thank you, Celeste. Until we meet again, be well.